In this video you will learn how to make copies of a selected feature using a linear pattern in FreeCAD. And by the way, FreeCAD is a completely free 3D CAD system for both hobby and commercial use. You are free to use this software. Please subscribe to this channel before we continue. This will help a lot in growing this channel. Okay, first let's create a new project in Part Design Workbench. Select Create Sketch and select the XY plane as the sketch plane. Select Create Rectangle and draw a rectangle so that the first corner of the rectangle coincides with the origin of the coordinate system. Make sure you have the Auto Constraints option selected, and now when you hover over the origin of the coordinate system, this point will be highlighted. Then click the left mouse button to make the first corner of the rectangle coincides with the origin of the coordinate system. Place second point around here. OK, now select Constrain Horizontal Distance, select this edge and enter here 100 mm to define this dimension of the rectangle. And now select Constrain Vertical Distance, select this edge and enter 50 mm to define this dimension of the rectangle. Click Close to exit the sketch and extrude the sketch by 10 mm. Select Path Feature and enter 10 mm for length. OK. Now we are going to create a hole in this solid. Select this face and select Create Sketch to create sketch on this face. Draw a circle. OK. Select Constrain Diameter to specify the diameter of the circle. Enter here 5 mm. OK. Now select Constrain Horizontal Distance and select this point and this point and enter here 10 mm. OK. And select Constrain Vertical Distance, select this point and enter here 10 mm. OK. Click Close to exit the sketch, select the pocket operation. OK, and as type select Through All to make the hole pass through the entire model. Click OK and switch to the Model tab. And now I will show you how to add more holes using a linear pattern. In the operation tree, select the feature that the hole was made of, then select Linear Pattern. And we have several pattern parameters here, and let's start with the length parameter. This parameter defines the distance at which the pattern will be executed, and the entire model is 100 mm long. The hole is offset from this edge by 10 mm, and I want the last hole in the pattern to be offset by 10 mm from this edge. Therefore, from the entire length of the model, I subtract the distance of the first hole from this edge and subtract the distance of the last hole from this edge. So 100 minus 10 and minus 10. We can also just write 80 mm here. And now we can change the number of occurrences, enter 7 and OK. And when it comes to direction, horizontal sketch axis is selected by default. This parameter specifies the direction in which the linear pattern will be executed. We can use sketch axis or base coordinate axis, but we can select the Select Reference option, and then we can use, for example, a sketch line or a model edge, but in this case select Base X-axis to pattern along the x-axis. Click OK to accept. And we added more instances of this hole in linear pattern. And what if we wanted to add an additional pattern of holes in the other direction along the y-axis? Select this feature and select linear pattern. And we cannot add another pattern from an existing pattern this way. Here we have information that only additive and subtractive features can be transformed. Okay, cancel this. A linear pattern is an interesting tool, and in some cases it can significantly speed up and facilitate work, but in some cases we need to use a different tool to achieve the intended effect. And in the next lesson I'll show you another tool that will allow you to make a linear pattern in two directions at once. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to this channel.